Okay, hello again, year one. Okay, as you know, the last 2 days we have spent looking at rhyming words, and this is a part of our poetry poems with pattern and rhyme topic we're looking at in English at the minute. And today we have a comprehension, but today's comprehension isn't about a story, it's actually about a rhyming poem. And our rhyming poem that we're looking at is called Birds in the Garden. And I'm going to begin by reading you the poem, and then we're going to discuss few little things about it, and then I'll let you know what your little job is that you have to do after, okay? So, let me read the poem. Before we start, the poem has 4 sections, 1, 2, 3, and 4. The pictures can also act as a clue to help you with the reading. As always, use your pictures to help you and use your phonics to decode your words, and that will help you understanding of the poem, okay? So listen up. One thing I'll just add before we go is this week I'm going to read the poem. Next week we've got another poem and I want you to read that one by yourself, okay? They're kind of similar. Okay, Birds in the Garden. 4 birds sat in a row, waiting for the peas to grow. 1 bird flew away, said he'd come back another day. 3 birds sat in a line, waiting for the sun to shine. 1 bird flew away, said he'd come back another day. 2 birds sat together, waiting for the rainy weather. 1 bird flew away, said he'd come back another day. 1 bird sat on his own. Rain came, sun hot, peas ripe, he gobbled the lot. And that poem is by Anne English. And Anne English, she loved English. She loved all things English, writing poems, writing instructions, everything, phonics. She loved it, okay? So, let's have a look at our first little part. Now I just want to point something out in the poem to you. So here we have, I'm just going to do a little line, okay? Now, you can see I've taken these first 2 lines of the poem, I put them in a 2, a couple of lines. Remember, a couple is 2, like a boyfriend and girlfriend, a man and his wife, a couple of shoes. Could be anything, couldn't it really? So I'm going to read you the first line, see if you notice anything about it, the first 2 lines. 4 birds sat in a row, waiting for the peas to grow. Now I'm sure you're all noticing at home that we have some rhyming words at the end of each line. So we have o and ro. And look, they both have that o sound at the end, they both rhyme, okay? Let's look at the second rhyming couplet, okay? 1 bird flew away, said he'd come back another day. Did anyone spot those rhyming words there? Yes, you're right. We have away and we have d-a. And they both have that a sound. Remember, when you're looking at rhyming words, just give you a random word. Say, for example, flag. We look at the word and we're looking for one of our vowels. So A, E, I, O, or U. We're looking for one of those letters, and that's where we're going to look for. That's the important bit of the word that we need to think of when we're thinking of more rhyming words. So in this word, the first letter I can see, which is one of those, is an A. So because of that, anywhere from then on, that's the important bit. So at flag. So if we're thinking of what rhyming words for flag, they're all going to have ag at the end of them. And you're just going to add letters to the start. So you could have bag. In the playground, we like to play tag. Many more, okay? Sometimes when we're filming videos on Teams or things like that, there's a bit of a lag. There's a bit of a delay, okay? There's many other words you can add. A male deer is a stag and so on, okay? So what you're going to do is, you guys are going to read this poem, take your time, get your highlighters out, draw all over it, see how many rhyming words you can find. Remember, your clue for the rhyming words is they're at the end of the lines. Then, after that, once you've read it, read it a couple of times as well so you know it quite well. There are some questions on the next page. So, let's rub this out so we can read them clearly. I'll read the first couple to you. Okay, so, question 1. How many birds sat in a row to begin with? Now, I could do that from memory, but as I'm a good reader, I know I might as well go back and check. So how many birds sat in the row to begin with? To begin with, we're going back to the start of the story. we could use our picture. I can see that there's 1, 2, 3, 4 birds. And it also says it in our text, 4 birds sat in a row. So if I go back here, so in my answer, I want to take a bit of the question. So how many birds in a row sat, how many birds sat in a row to begin with? You could say, to begin with, there were 4 birds sat in a row, or there were 4 birds sat in a row to begin with. And to help you with your spelling, use the words in the question, okay? Let's try one more. What are the birds waiting to eat? Let's see, what are the birds waiting to eat? Waiting to eat. The birds are waiting to eat for the peas to grow, so they must want to eat the peas. The birds are waiting for the peas to eat. Okay, so I want you to try and write in full sentences, capital letters, full stop. Don't just write peas. Okay, that's reception, and you guys aren't in reception. You're halfway through year 1. Well, almost anyway. Okay, so we need to get into a good habit of writing proper long answers. Okay. Then you've got a few more questions. Question 5. 2 lines are repeated in the first 3 verses. Now, in the poem, let me just show you what a verse is. A verse is one of these sections. So you've got 1 verse, you've got a 2nd verse, a 3rd verse, and a 4th verse. So you're looking in those first few, which line is repeated over and over again in the poem. I'll be impressed if you can spot it. Then question 6, you can have a read of yourself. Question 7 is about being patient. It says, the poem is telling us it is good to be patient. The patient bird ate all the peas. Have you ever waited patiently for something? You can tell me about something you waited for patiently. I know Mrs. Walker was telling me that her son Daniel waited very patiently for his PlayStation 5. He was very, very excited, but he had to wait patiently and he had to work very, very hard in school. So I'm sure you guys are going to work equally as hard today on this. If that's a bit difficult for you, get a little bit of help off mum or dad. And you can just focus on the rhyming word. So row rhymes with, you can go back and find out which one rhymes with it. I'm also going to put a slightly easier comprehension on if you want to work on that and build yourselves up to this, okay? This is quite hard, so best of luck with it, okay? Shout out to today is Yashvi. I wonder how you are, Yashvi. Missing you in school, and I'm very impressed with your work yesterday. I really like how neatly you laid it out. I like people who take their time over their work. Mrs. Coleman came down last Friday. She gave out a few certificates. It had nothing to do with me. She just wanted to read you a story, but she'd been spying on Seesaw and seeing who'd been getting up to things, and she'd also been spying on the people in class. So make sure you're one of those people that's in the running for a certificate. Make sure you're always doing your best and nothing less, okay? Bye-bye.